Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's online craft fair. We're so happy to have you join us. My name is Jackie Ralston, and I have had the privilege of working with American artisans and gourmet food producers for almost 30 years. In that time, I have gone to a lot of shows and produced a lot of shows under the name of Boston Christmas Festival and now the New England Christmas Festival. So I recognize how challenging this time that we're in right now with all shows canceled are for the artisan community. As a result, my team here at Artisan Promotions put our heads together to try and find a way that we could connect in this environment. And we came up with this idea to do this online craft fair where you would have the opportunity to meet 4 artisans every week. That's something that doesn't often happen when you go to a show. You don't have the time to talk to people. So we're going to give you a little peek behind the scenes. And this week, you're going to meet a leathersmith, you're going to meet a jeweler, you're going to meet a printer, and you're going to meet a lady who works with vintage books and makes purses. So let's start with Karen Kearsley.
Hi, Jackie.
Hello, Karen. How are you? Thank you for joining us. So what I want to say about you is that you are a really nice lady. You are a really nice person. And we know this because in your real job, you are a school nurse. And yet you dealt with a frustration every day, you were telling me, that was not making a calm day for you. So the problem was that you could never find your keys. And you looked around for a solution, didn't like any of the solutions, and decided you would solve the problem. So tell us about it.
Yes, thank you, Jackie. Thanks for having me. So I was just one of those people who could never find their keys. And I would run around the house in the morning, where are my keys? And, asking the kids to help me find them. And that's just the way life was. I mean, there are a lot of other people like that. But then I got one of those cars where you push the button, you don't have to have your keys anymore. And then when I got home from a long day's work, I would wonder, oh, where are my keys? Oh, yeah, they're like somewhere down in the bottom. And I'd start digging for them. And I was like, I can't look for my keys to get out of my house and then look for my keys to get back into my house.
Well, we can all identify with that.
Yeah, so there had to be a solution. So that's when I came up with my Keysy.
Very good idea. So you've been on quite a journey doing this.
Yes.
Maybe you can tell us about it while we're looking at your website. So let's pull up your website.
Okay. Would you like me to do a demonstration?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. That would be wonderful. Please do.
Okay. So everybody's used to seeing either you or your friends doing that dig in your purse.
Exactly.
Well, now you don't have to because you've got a Keysy. So the Keysy solved my problem because running around my house during the mornings, it's a lot easier to find this than it is to find a small set of keys.
And go ahead. I interrupt.
So it's a Keysy. It's a little device. It's a special little wallet that attaches to your purse. And your keys slide right out the bottom. And when I got home, I didn't even have to take it out of my purse. I would just unlock the door.
Great idea.
Perfect.
Great idea. Yep.
And it has a little wallet for your driver's license and a few credit cards. So that way, it's nice and easy. When you get to the store, you can have everything at your fingertips, either tucked inside or tucked out, and you never have to do that dig to get in the bag to find your credit cards or your keys.
And ask yourself, which bag is it in anyway? It may not be the first bag. It may be in some other bag. So
Yeah.
A very clever idea. And I know that you've had an interesting journey getting to this point. So let's look at your different colors and models. I'm switching over to your website and you tell me where you want to go. But that's a close-up of what you just showed us, which is great. Do you want to go to your catalog or where?
Sure. You can just go down as you like. That's a little picture of me doing my little dance and demo.
Yeah. And so that's a good thing. You should mention that you can use your train or bus access without taking it out.
Yes, anytime you have to get into your building, your work building, or whatever it is, you can just swing it and tap it and let yourself in. You don't have to do that dig to find those little fobs that let you into your apartment building or your work. And those are my 2 collections.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have one that's a little simpler. It has a snap on the front. And the other one, this is my signature piece, has a turnkey lock, and it's all hand stitched. You can see there.
It's beautiful stitching and great colors, and your choice of colors for buyers probably changes a little bit, but your website is current with what you've got available.
Yes, if you click on the Kearsley Breeze collection.
Yep, this one.
Yep, you can see those are it'll take you to my current colors for those.
Wait a minute, I'm clicking on that picture and it's not coming up, so it must be
maybe on the button below, or you can
just catalog.
Sure.
There we go.
Yeah, those are my current colors right now. Changes by season.
Right. Great. So great color choices, and whether you want stitched or not stitched. And you actually have been on quite a journey to get even to this point. You were telling me about handbag competitions and investors club, and we should say that you have a patent on this, which is terribly exciting.
Yes, I have a full utility patent. So
Yep. So you've gone to all these different seminars and associations to try and figure out how to put the whole business concept together, right?
Yes, I've been, I did E4All, which is a wonderful place that helps entrepreneurs get the business started. I've been to the New York Investors Club to get their advice on the best way, because I won a competition that gave me a ticket into the New York Investors Club, which was super exciting. I won a Shark Tank, a mini Shark Tank event, and hopefully someday it'd be nice to go to the real Shark Tank. That would be fun and great.
So what is a mini Shark Tank event, and what kind of a response did you have?
It was at Northeastern University, had a little, they called it Nurse Shark Tank. And so I went in there and showed my product and show how it could help people who have problems finding their keys, just like me. And they thought it was great, and I won an award there, as well as an award in Vegas I went to.
Wow.
And some pitch competitions here in Boston.
So I'm looking for your studio shots, and I just found them to show that you're really sitting there making these Kearsley wallets, and it's quite a journey from the idea to the actual sale. And I'm not sure that everybody realizes how involved that is, particularly if you want to, sell in any kind of a quantity.
Yes,
right?
well, I started back in 2016 was my first kind of iteration, and it was fabric. And the fabric ones just, it had to be leather. So I went on a journey learning everything I could about leather and became the leathersmith that I am today. So yeah, it's been so much fun and so great going to the Christmas festival with you and just meeting so many people, and have people come back and say, I love my Kearsley as they walk by my booth every year. I'm like, great. And then my customers in my booth will turn around and say, do you know them? And I say, no, I don't. I said, once you get one, you get hooked on it, because it's
that's the fun of crafts festivals, right? There's always, as I said before, it's a treasure hunt, and you never know who you're going to meet there. And that's sort of a product. But a lot of people, you have to start somewhere. And it's a great, I think, some of the bigger shows like mine are a little bit scary because you have to have a lot of product. but you're either committed to it or you're not. So you've got to get out there and give it a try, right?
Yes, definitely. Can I mention one thing that my mom, she's so cute. My mom told me the other day that my mom doesn't attach hers to a purse. She just takes it off like this because the clasp is really easy to get on and off the bag, or you can just take it separately. But in her building, she has a elevator, and she says, tell your customers this, because she touches the elevator with the clasp, the
Oh
button.
my
She doesn't
goodness.
have to touch them herself.
Oh my goodness. The things you learn in our current life, the days of COVID, my goodness. Well, Karen, thank you so much for coming on our show, and we wish you the best of luck in the future.
One more thing I wanted to say was that I have a Mother's Day special right now, 20% off all products on the website, just code Mother's Day.
Yes, well, I did when we were looking at your website. I'm just going to switch back to your website quickly, and there you've got it at the top. Yep, that's great. That's great. Super. Okay, well, thank you very much, and I say we'll see you at the next craft show.
Sounds great.
So now we're going to bring Linda Popper in, who is a wonderful jeweler. Hi, Linda. How are you?
Hi, Jackie. Thank you for having me.
Love your necklace, but we'll talk about that in a second. I just want that in terms of in the introduction, you sort of fell into jewelry making, and as you told me, you were dealing with gold and silver and gemstones, which is sort of like most women would be thrilled with playing with all those precious stones. And you just found that you had this pull to deal with farm-raised organics, as you call them.
Yes.
And for our viewers, let's translate what that means. So it's, go ahead.
That means that either it was alive or came from something alive. So I use pearls, coral, different shells.
Right. Yes, absolutely. And you do a lot of traveling too.
I do.
You were telling me that your shells come from 3 different continents.
That's correct. I deal with farms in Mexico, Australia, and Vietnam.
Great. And you've had the luxury of going to some of those farms and seeing the process, which is such a beautiful experience. You know, it takes this whole necklace that you're wearing down to the basic level and appreciation of where these pieces came from. So having said that, I'm going to switch over to your website so we can see these beautiful pieces. And shall we go to shop so that, yes.
Sure.
And how about if we go down to Abalone?
That would be wonderful.
Okay. Well, of course, normally the computer is faster than this. I'm sorry for that, but it's worth it. Look at these beautiful pieces. So tell us about them.
Okay, well, the abalone that I use is actually raised for the meat. The shell is a byproduct they were tossing away, and that's raised in New Zealand. The color that you see there is all natural. That is what is inside of the abalone shell, which is quite plain from the outside, quite frankly.
Really? And would you find it in shallow water or deeper water, or where is it?
Like all farmed mollusks, although it's not a mollusk, but like all mollusks, it's raised kind of in beds that are on long strings that are deep in the water, but it's able to be raised up to let the farmer cultivate them, to care for them and cultivate them.
The same way they do with pearls.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, it's hard to leave this page because the colors and combinations are just beautiful. But I know you've got a lot of products, so let's look at, what do you think? Should we go to coral?
Let's go to coral.
Okay. Look at those pieces. So what causes the colors to be so different?
those are different species of coral. There are several different species, just like a dog, of coral, and they vary tremendously in color, from subtle pinks to a vibrant red to oranges, and even black and tan, which I am not fortunate enough to be able to get in any quantity.
Uh-huh. And you can cut and polish the stone if you want to, or leave it natural?
Yes, I have many that I've left natural, but it's more of a case of polishing or buffing them down to get your desired shape rather than actual cutting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. And where else would you like us to go?
Let's try bridal.
Oh yeah, that's always fun. Bridal.
Now, of course, bridal isn't just limited to brides.
Well, the piece that you're actually wearing could be considered part of your bridal collection, right?
Yes, the piece I'm wearing is probably my personal signature piece. And since we're demonstrating, I just have to show you how easily this comes on and off.
Hold on. Let me just switch over here to
Sure.
I've got
Okay.
you.
Okay. So this just comes on and off like that.
How did you do that?
I can vary the length tremendously.
And because it's leather, it will stay there?
No, I've put a little donut, a silicone donut in the back.
Oh.
So it slides on
Yeah.
the leather.
So it can be any length, which makes
Any
it
length.
so great.
And like all of my leather pieces, phenomenal in and around the water.
Right. All right, so let's go back to looking at these bridal pieces, which we had a quick peek at. And they are running the gamut here from traditional to quite ornate.
Yes,
And sure that you get people who want all of those things.
I do. I'm very fortunate.
Yeah. Okay, and we haven't touched on pearls so we look at pearls?
Sure, you could look at pearls.
At least our viewers can see that in their own time, they can come back and enjoy your website and look at all the different choices that you've got.
I would also like to add that for your viewers, I'm running a special coupon.
Oh,
That is
great.
available just to your viewers, and I could give you that information now if you'd like.
Let me just switch over to your face so that we can see. Okay, go ahead.
So I'm offering a special until the end of this year through the entire 2020 for any of your viewers. I'm offering a 10% discount across the board on my website. The discount name is New England Christmas.
Oh,
And
great.
the discount code is Online Craft Fair, all in capitals.
Oh, clever girl. That sounds great. Good. So our viewers now can take advantage of that, and 10% is great considering the times that we're in. Any help is wonderful.
And also my website, I do continue to release things all through the year. I don't load it up in January and go. I release very often throughout the year, different product.
Just having a slight hiccup here in technology. There we go. Well, you never know what's going to happen when you're not in a studio with handlers and
When you're live.
who can help you out with all of these things. But okay, problem solved. Thank you so much for joining us today. That was really fun to see your beautiful pieces. And
Thank you.
As I commented to you when we first spoke, I love the way you've done your website with that beautiful background. It brings home the fact that these are all from the sea. So wonderful job. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie.
Okay, bye-bye. And now we're going to meet Chris.
Hey, Jackie, how you doing?
Hey, Chris, how are you?
Good. Glad to
Good.
be here.
Good. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
So, what I'd like to say about you is that you're an artist and a designer and have a background in photography, and you were making your living making custom magnets. And along the way, your brain is sort of moving around and swimming, and you're thinking, gee, I'd really like to do something else. And I think I've got some ideas in my head and I can do other things. And then somehow or other, which you're going to tell us about, you decided you loved pop culture. And you loved pop culture specifically from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. So that's not something that everybody wakes up and says, oh, this is what I want to do. But apparently you did. So tell us about it.
Well, the way I started in the business is I started selling online in 1997. I actually started out as a retailer of magnets and related gift items, and we sold items like greeting cards and mugs and candles from about 100 different designers, and then sort of morphed into custom magnets just based on customer demand. And custom magnets is a large part of the business, but through the whole process, I sort of got a sense of what a design-oriented and pop culture-oriented customer liked, and it reached a point where, to me, it didn't make any sense to be selling other people's products that hundreds of other people are selling online. That it would make sense to create our own line, and we happen to have these high-end printers and a knowledge of graphic design to do that, do it all in-house. So that's sort of how it all came about. And but I definitely like the nostalgic, very simple, sort of warm designs that would add a positive design element to people's homes.
Make people happy, make people smile, right? That's what you're all about. All right,
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
switching to your website because you have so many great images. And here we go. So where would you like to start?
We can go in, since it's New England. Why don't we go into the Boston? It's
Right here.
top right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are, I look for sort of iconic images of the area. You know, I grew up around Boston, so I know it well, but all these designs are illustrations that I do on the computer using Adobe Illustrator, but they are sort of inspired by old retro images, travel posters, matchbook covers, stuff like that. But I try to bring them forward so they're more like a contemporary palette and contemporary designs.
Mm-hmm.
But so there's a lot of like Paragon Park is was a local amusement park. Did my little twist on the Sitco sign. It's a lot of I do very localized stuff, like that bathing suit that says South Boston. If you click in there, there'll be a drop-down list where you can pick all the beaches in South Boston, like Carson Beach and L Street Beach, M Street Beach. So I can do it, since we do it all in-house, I set them up so we can do very localized designs. And then customers will email us if they don't see like their local beach, we can easily do it and throw it up there so they can order it.
So you will do custom work then?
I will, yeah. So
yeah,
not totally custom, but sort of like name drops. A lot of them are set up for that. So we can easily do that, which makes it sort of nice for the customer. They have a unique item.
All right, let's go back to.
And then, I thought maybe we could go into since it is a Christmas show, the Christmas section.
Right here?
Yeah. And it's all sort of just old, warm Christmas designs. One thing I do is most of the images share the same color palette. So they will go well together. Like the reds that are used, it's all the exact same reds, so they're not going to clash. The blues, a lot of the same blues.
So I think what you're saying is people buy multiples so that they can put 4 of them or 6 of them on their wall.
Right.
And they're not going to fight with each other.
Right. And all the designs, like the ones we're looking at here, they're available as prints, greeting cards, and magnets. But as a print, it's 11 by 14, which is a very common frame size. So you don't have to, pay for expensive custom framing on them. And then you can sort of swap them in and out, as the seasons change.
But you also have some available on canvas if somebody wants to go bigger or a different material, right?
Right. So you can go, if you want, I can go very large as a canvas. So it's like a stretched canvas stretched around a wooden frame.
Let's look at your canvases for a minute.
So it's just a couple images there.
Yeah.
But those are the 18 by 24s.
Okay.
But they can get much larger, and they're nice. They're designed to just, you can hang them as is on the wall.
I want to go, before we run out of time, to your paint by number because I loved what you did with those. So am I going to find them here?
Yeah, it's all alphabetical, so keep going. There it is with the deer. So I just really like the whole paint by number look. I think it's like this very warm, homey look. And so these are not paint by number kits. They are just designs that I've done in the paint by number style. But the idea is to, just what we were saying, is to sort of create a whole wall of them, like a whole collage on the wall of different designs. That it's just a look that really appeals to me. And a couple of them I've thrown some text on, just, again, positive thoughts, good vibes only, or not all under or lost. And there are a lot of cats. I have a lot of cats for some reason, but.
Well, cats are they're always interesting, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're so free-spirited, but you've got some great New England images and some animals here. Yeah,
and so there's a lot of like the seaside ones. It would be nice for like a beach decor. There's more like cabin-ish ones, like lakes, which would be good in like a house up in New Hampshire or something. But then I do have stuff from all around the country, like there's California, Chicago. It's not just New England, but.
So if people go on your collections page, then every single one of these takes you to another page with a lot of choices. You've been very clever about touching all kinds of themes, and thank you for staying positive and making people smile. Because that's sort of where we need to be right now, right?
I know, definitely. But that's the whole goal, and that's like one of the things I find most enjoyable about doing the craft shows is that you get to meet, you get to see people react to your stuff, and most, in these shows, people are happy to be there. They're having fun, and it's just a very positive experience doing these shows.
Yeah, thank you for saying that, because I think it is fun. People, it was a fun outing on your weekends when you were trying to think of something to do, and it's just enjoyable. People wandering around, and
it's just contagious.
The show, and they spent too much money, or maybe they leave spend very much, but it was a good experience. So we're all hoping those days are going to come back real soon. And meantime, good luck with this business, and thank you so much for being with us.
All right. Well, thanks for including me. Good luck to you too.
Right, now we're going to meet Kathleen Scranton.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Kathleen, how are you?
I am well.
Good. So what I want to say about you is that you were a marketing director, and I think you don't mind my sharing that in the awful 2008-2009 time period, you got laid off. And so you're sort of scratching your head, what comes next in my life? And you decide that you're gonna, in the meantime, help your husband with his hobby, which is beekeeping. And it's a stretch, but somehow or other, beekeeping led you to where you are today, where you're creating purses from vintage books. So tell us how that happened.
There's a long story, but I'll make it really short.
Okay.
In the beekeeping, while I was trying to reinvent myself, I was looking for books on beekeeping to help me with all the extra wax we had. And I started in caustic painting. And while I was looking for books, I found out libraries were tossing the ones that aren't sold. Book dealers were tossing the ones that aren't sold. Homeowners were tossing them because they weighed too much. And I'm looking at them going, but books were all I had when I was a child. They are very important to all of us. So I went back, being in marketing, came up with a business plan, went to Brimfield, put my book purses out there, because how can you save a book unless you make them into a fashion statement? Because otherwise they're still a book and they're throwing them away.
Right.
My most important part was everybody loved the purses and not so much my encaustic painting. So that's where I started. My goal is to save the books. I rebind them when I make them into a purse so you can still read them. And I've made 4,000 purses already.
Wow. That's a lot. So
It sure is.
I know that you've got so many beautiful books and sizes available and choices available. So let's take a look. So we're now, you want to tell us
If
about?
you want to click on my cell phones, you'll see my most popular ones on page 17. So click on the link.
Oh, wait, these are your cell phone. No, sorry.
Click on the link for cell phones right there at the beginning. You're there. The first one is cell phones. In the gallery. You were in the gallery. Right there. The very first picture is cell phones.
Oh, here. This is what you're saying.
Yep.
Click
Yep,
on.
click.
Sorry. Yes.
It's okay.
Okay. There we go.
I know you have a tiny lag. Now
And then
scroll down
to
to
page
page 17.
Yep. So,
So there are some of my favorites. Beatrice Potter with a Royal Dalton button. I have Doctor Who. I have Charlie Brown. I have The Giving Tree. They're extremely popular. And the best part is I have Edward Gorey. You can't get any better illustrations than that. And you get to read the book and wear your purse.
you talk about reading the book while we switch over here. I think you want to go to Clutch.
Next would be Clutches on page 2. Yep.
Yeah, so you save the actual story and that becomes part of the.
Clutch was next. I gave it to you sequentially.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. What I do is I take the books, that picture right there with the red flower on it is the Clutch.
Got it.
Yep. And what they are is a purse that doesn't have a handle. That's what a Clutch is. It's a little box.
Right.
And I take the pages out whole. I use a scalpel because I was really good with anatomy physiology in high school. And I rebind them as a paperback. So every one of my books comes with the actual pages that were in it. Some of my books are as old as 1860 and they were going to be thrown away. And we're talking Charles Dickens, beautiful, beautiful books. So those are some of my memory clutches.
I'm so glad that you're doing this because we will come to a time when people are going to say books.
I know. Unfortunately, I'm not going to let anyone forget.
Good.
Yep. If you use that link, you can go back.
Yep.
And then scroll down to the third one. Now in handheld, I have a lot of different sizes. Handheld has become my most popular right now. So if you go to page 27, you're going to see my most popular ones.
Whoops. Do I have to go to 29 and work backwards?
You can go to 27 or 31. I'll do either one.
Okay.
So those are number of handhelds, all different sizes. That green one there with the bamboo handle is from 1860. That is Charles Dickens.
Wow.
Right below it is Gatsby. I buy it in Great Britain. It's a book out of print, but it's not a valuable book. It's just a stunning Gatsby.
Yeah.
And it's navy blue linen with gold leaf. And I hand bead the handles to match. All the linings match whatever the cover is, because color theory is very important when you're going to wear a fashion statement.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. And you've done a great job with your website, the
Thank you.
pictures.
And if you go to 27, I'll show you my newest creations in the handheld.
I'm having trouble getting to 27 because.
That's okay. Go back to hand and go to 31. That's where the briefcases are. Hand is up one more. Right there. And then go to 31 and I'll show you the briefcases. Doctors, lawyers, nurses, they're all using my briefcases now because they're much more attractive than a nylon thing that you buy or a fake leather. Like that green one right at the top, that is Shakespeare.
This one right here?
Yep, it'll hold legal papers. It's 3.5 inches wide. It's waterproof. That's gold leaf on the front. And the book is full of everything Shakespeare ever wrote. Wow. It's just a stunning briefcase.
And how on earth would you find such a perfect handle to match with it?
I'm a great shopper. Because I was in marketing, I know how to source things all over. And I have found vendors all over the United States. I only buy in the United States. And I can't tell you how cool it is to find these things. And if you buy enough of them, you get wholesale. But you have to buy enough of them. You should see my house. There's a lot of storage.
Oh, wow. That's great. So before we run out of time, I want you to talk about the fact that you will do custom orders, and that runs the gamut from choosing a favorite author to choosing a favorite design to what else?
Well, I can find any book. I have a network of book dealers and libraries now that save books for me because none of them ever wanted to throw the books away, but they were forced to because no one was buying them. So now the books they know they can't sell, they save for me. And every 3 months we all meet and I buy the ones I can use. Now, if a customer this week, I had to find a book called The Farthest Away Mountain, and I found it. And I'm making it into a purse for her sister. And hopefully she's not watching. But it's going to get a new spine. I'm decoupaging the cover onto it. It's a very narrow book, so I'll give it a new spine. And it's her favorite book from her childhood. So it's going to be a very memorable gift.
Absolutely. I think all of your purses are memorable gifts. So thank you for doing this and saving the books and doing such a tasteful, beautiful job in putting them together. I'm sorry we didn't get to go through all of your.
It's okay.
But I think that our viewers can see that you've got an extensive website and that they can spend some time working their way through it and choosing their favorite book.
Thank Artisan Promotions for offering this for all of us because we all need the extra visibility. We're not getting any shows at the moment.
Right, exactly. Good. Well, hopefully.
Thank you.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye. So we hope that you've enjoyed this week's meeting for artisans, and we hope that you're inspired to purchase a handcrafted item. I think that these artisans illustrate for you the business of creativity, and that is what the arts community is all about. And we believe that the arts community is an important part of the soul of our nation. And they need your support. And the way that you can do that is by liking and sharing and subscribing and telling all your friends and everywhere that you can so that we can build a big community that can have an opportunity to meet these wonderful people up close and personal and really spend some time seeing what they do. And if you would like to see this episode again, or any of our other episodes, you can go to newenglandcraftsfestival.com and click on Online Craft Fair, and you'll be able to see them again. So thank you for joining us, and please remember that we'll be back next Friday at 2 o'clock. And until then, we hope that you stay safe and healthy.